So what we got to do now with our selfie, I have my selfie on my desktop, right? I downloaded it, it's right over here. And you guys can either email it to yourself, whatever you think will work best for accessing it from your device. So you have it, you can see if I open it up here, you can see I made it black and white on my device and then I emailed it to myself and then downloaded it. So I have the black and white. What I want to do is I want to remove the background. Okay, that goofy picture there. I want to remove the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up in a program online called removebg.com. bg.com, and that the BG just stands for the background. It's a very simple way for you to do this, and then all we have to do is just drag it and drop it, and there it is. Okay, now since you're going to be putting this into I'm going to just download it here real quick. I'm just going to go to download as a preview image. That's the free version. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to follow the next step in the assignment. So here is the assignment. Let me open it up. But now that I have my slide deck open, here's what you're going to be doing. Now in this example, you'll see I have a finished version of my assignment. All right, and here is where I have my photo. The photo in this case has the background removed. All right, and I have at least the minimum of 8 of the I ams or I loves marked here with different fonts, different sizes, different elements that are created around the portrait. I have the portrait spaced in a way that creates area of negative space for me to put the information in. So here's what you're going to be doing. First, you'll have the blank slide, and you'll also have these additional slides that have all of these fun little elements that you might be able to use based on what you are choosing to express. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put my photo in. Now to input a photo, you just come over here to Insert, and I'm going to go to Image, Upload from a Computer. And I'm going to put in my empty background one. And I can see it right here. It's this one here, Mr. Amy. Remove BG. Okay, this is the one that I removed the background. And then I'm going to click Open. That puts it in. And now I want to decide where I'm going to put it. Now, composition. The arrangement of the subject on the surface of the page. That's the definition of composition. So I need to look at it and I need to think, okay, well, I can see that the shoulder is cut on this side, so it would be good if the image was in a corner, at least on this side or potentially on this side. All right, makes the most sense. Now, if I decide that I want to keep it over here, I just move it over here. If I want to enlarge it, all I have to do is click and drag, and you guys are aware of how to use Google Slides, I'd imagine. Everything is fairly simple as far as clicking and dragging. All right, so now that I have my photo in, now what I want to do is if I look at my sample here, obviously my name is going to be one of the things that I'd like to put in. So now what I could do is I could look at some of these elements here, these doodles, and maybe I want to use my name on a curve here, or I want to maybe have it underlined here. Maybe I want to have an arrow pointing to it, a map pin. It's up to you how you decide to present it. I chose to use one of these. Maybe I'll take this. So if I go to here and I want to put my name inside this, I'm going to click on it to select it. I'm going to copy it. So edit, copy, or Control C. All right. Then I'm going to come back to my portrait and I'm going to paste it. So edit, paste, and you can see Control V is the paste command. So now that I pasted it there, what I can do is I can enlarge it, shrink it, bend it, and then of course I can move it where I want to, and then I need to consider adding text. Now, I'm not trying to add a text box. If I click on the text box here and then just click once in the document, it creates a text box. So now I'll type my name. It's difficult to see because it's in black. So if I highlight it, I come over here to the text color, select white. All right, it's kind of making it like a chalkboard. And then here's the size. Default is set at 14. I can increase that by clicking the plus, or I could highlight it and try changing the size, and I can see how that becomes bigger. Now, obviously with such a large text box, I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. I want it to fit in here though. So what I'll do is, while I have it selected, I'll just adjust the size, and I want to change the font. The default font on your device may be one thing, but you have the option of making it more fun, however you choose to do that. All right. So now I've got my name. It's a little bit bigger. I can click and move it inside this. I can rotate it a little bit there, so it looks like it's on the angle that the nameplate is, and then I will continue to develop. Pretty good. So now if I can select this, I can shrink this in a little bit, and there's the first part. So now from here, what I want to do is I want to continue to develop the space in an interesting way. So maybe depending on what some of my thoughts were, okay, I am an artist. I love music. I am a lacrosse dad. My son is a lacrosse player and he plays in college. I also do graphic design. I have a dog. I had two. Now we're down with one, unfortunately. Our dog passed. I'm a dog dad. I also love to surf. I enjoy the beach. I am a teacher. Okay, so I used elements throughout that kind of tell a story, and I found some other elements here on this page here, on this page here, that I could use to develop the space in an interesting way. So that's going to be the next step, setting up some of the things that you are. So if I take my text now and I type in one of the things that I am, and let me do, just as a repeat, just so you can kind of see, I will go in, call a lax dad. I'm going to highlight it, change the font color to white, increase the size, really big this time. I'm going to try it at a 50 point, nice and big. And now I'm going to try a different font. I can resize this. And now maybe I want to put something fun around that. These balloons here, they're not exactly like lacrosse sticks, but they could. So I'm going to select them, I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to paste them right here. Move them over, and I'll put one on one side, and I'm going to move one to the other. I can rotate them. I can rotate the lettering, and then I can move them by clicking and dragging over both. I can move this someplace that is more interesting as far as the compositional space. Okay? Now, as you can see, there are a lot of other options here that I used on mine. I just go to a different page, copy, paste. All right, little fun elements. The other thing you can do is you can draw on here. So it's kind of like a lot like a chalkboard. So if you look, there is right here this line. If I click on that line and I go to scribble, and now, like let's say I have dark hair, which I do, and it's hard to see between the dark hair and the background, I could take the scribble line and create a line that's kind of halos the head a little bit. Now you can see the line color is black. So if I select the line color and make it white, you can see that it makes it white. I can also come here and change the line weight and the line into something that's like a dash. So I could make it a little dotted line. I could make it a bigger dashed line. I can increase the line weight. And then if I deselect that, you can see what happens. I get a pretty cool, like a dash, follow the dash line. And it kind of helps to differentiate the portrait, the selfie portrait from the background. Okay? So you have all of these options. You can see in the rubric what the expectations are here. So if I'm at the rubric here, all the directions are still here in the rubric. One of the last things that you're going to do is you're going to be reading the rubric, making sure that you've met all the criteria here, and then you're going to be coming in and you're going to delete the additional slides. So all the slides that you're going to have, so the last thing, let's say I've finished everything, it's all done. I'm going to select each of those additional slides and just click on them and delete them. Then, to turn it in, what you're going to do, all right, this is my finished piece. What you're going to do is you're going to the File menu, and you are going to just download a JPEG image of the current slide right here. And that is what you're going to use to turn in. So if you click JPEG image to download, it will download just that image. You can see it right here. And this is what I would use to submit into Canvas, into the assignment. Okay? All right, guys, I look forward to seeing what you come up with. All right, you can see in my example here, not just in what I just downloaded, but in my sample is here in the assignment. Okay, so make sure you're reading over the directions. Make sure you're following the criteria established in the rubric. And when you're done, you'll be submitting the finished version of it. Okay? All right, good luck, guys. I'll see you what it looks like soon.